Good morning. Welcome to Mantra 108, where we're working our way through our Nārāyaṇāya mantra. We are on day 5. So we are nearing the end of our first week. And just a little reminder that this is a mantra that takes us from individual consciousness to divine consciousness, takes us back to that space where we are remembering and resting in a place of divine consciousness. Good morning, Pierce. Good morning, Holly. One day I'll meet Holly. My hair is in my face today. So I'll wait just a moment until a few others have joined. Today's gardening day in my neighborhood, so you may hear some lawnmowers putting around in the neighborhood that we can hear a little bit up here, but it shouldn't be too disruptive, I don't think. So how's everybody doing? We've got some real tragedy going on in our country right now. We've got, good morning, Anita. Good morning, Bianca. We've got some, what I believe are righteous protests going on across the country. All of this engages us very strongly in Chitta. We talked about Chitta a couple of days ago, this heart-mind energy field that is part of our awareness of what goes on outside of us. Good morning, Sylvie. And so we're very aware of what's going on right now in our country on so many levels. And so it's good to rest in our daily mantra practice, because not only do we rest in our practice, but it calls us back to our awareness that we are divine consciousness. It calls us back to our awareness of the inner light. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that actually right now. I think enough of you are on that we can get started. So yesterday we talked about Purusha. Purusha, that inner divine light of awareness. This is our Purusha. The Purusha is the seer, the watcher, the witness that witnesses all that goes on in the Chitta, this heart-mind awareness. And so there's something new that I want to talk about today, and this is called, the name of this is Drisha. Drisha. So Drisha is the ever-changing environment around us, Mother Nature, ever-changing, always evolving, always changing. So I'll read a little bit of this. The worldview of yoga includes the belief that all material substances are in a constant state of flux. Well, it's no surprise that science believes this too. Good morning, Corinne. Love and light to you as well, dear. And it says here, modern science, especially atomic and quantum theory, agrees. Even our DNA mutates slowly every moment. Understanding the transitory nature of all things is prerequisite to letting go of expectations and attachments. Good morning, Cindy. And we've talked about how important it is to let go of our expectations, let go of our attachments. Our senses interact with the outer world Yet we have the potential to turn our attention inward and experience that which never changes, our light of awareness, Purusha, which we talked about yesterday. Drishya, meaning what is seeable, is what the seer witnesses. So drishya, which is also called prakriti. So drishya or prakriti, this ever-changing nature of everything manifest. Drishya is seeable by Purusha, the seer, this inner light of awareness. Drishya is what the seer witnesses. The entire cosmic process, all matter and energy that encompasses the changing, manifest world. Everything but the seer, Purusha, this inner light of awareness. So it says here, synonyms for Drishya are Prakriti, which I just mentioned, which means nature, and Maya. Many of us know Maya as illusion. It also means measurable. Those things that we can see and measure, those are Drishya. The unseeable, well, I'll just say the unseeable, this is Purusha. The world around us is not the same as it was a moment ago. And its changes are not always predictable. When our expectations are not met, or a sudden tragedy befalls us, we can move on more easily when we understand the temporality of ourselves and our surroundings. The seer within, our Purusha, our inner divine nature, the seer within, is our only rock, and connecting our consciousness to it can ground us and carry us through all matter of events and experiences. A conscious, permanent inner light of awareness pervades the impermanent changing universe. I can alleviate suffering by distinguishing between the changes and what never changes. So I think these are lovely thoughts to open our practice today. Go ahead and begin to tune into your breath. Close down your eyes. Let your shoulders drop from your ears. Let your skin begin to soften. Let your muscles begin to soften. Bring your awareness to the Purusha, that unseeable but always present divine light of awareness within us. And we'll take an inhale together to begin. Auṁ Namo Nārāyaṇāya. 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 Nārāyaṇāya. Auṁ Namo 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 Nārāyaṇāya. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sit in the vibration of your sound. That brings us to the end of our practice this morning. So we've identified the difference between Drishya, Prakriti, and Purusha. Drishya, Prakriti is the ever-changing nature of everything around us, and including the ever-changing nature of the composition of our physical being. Purusha is that inner divine light that is the witness to all of the changing nature of everything around us. So we want to align more with our Purusha, the divine nature within, which is an expression of the divine. We want to align with that, and not so much with our attachments, our expectations, our opinions, our biases. Let's remember to honor that divine light of awareness that's in all of us. I honor yours, you honor mine. And in this way, we can help to lift up instead of break down. We can help to edify rather than breaking down. All right, I leave you with those thoughts. Thank you for being with me. And